always does 3 minutes for some reason. See, it's 3 minutes and 40-something seconds on mine.
You're weird.
Hey, hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Double A. This is your favorite podcast, your girls, Amber and Arianne.
Are we really the favorites?
How are you guys today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic and having a great week. And she's just over here eating a banana for your anchor listeners.
Yeah.
Okay. My hair's going to be everywhere. Trust me, it's been acting nuts today.
Question before we get into the thing. How do you feel about this being your last Tuesday broadcast?
What episode is this? 29? Because 32 was our last one.
Oh, no. It's just the 12th week.
It's episode 32.
The calendar said this is the last week.
I mean, we're still doing it, so it's not.
Yeah, but
it's not like we're up and quitting.
There's just going to be you and I both on Thursday, but if you won't have a Tuesday anymore, they might miss the Tuesday.
Well, I mean, it's still going to be my Solved Mystery. It's just it gives us more time to do all of our outside of our podcast stuff.
Oh, like our other podcasts that they may want to know about.
Yeah, our other podcasts. Guys, we have separate podcasts. Make sure you go check those out. We have Amber with This, That, and Shay.
It's a deep one.
Flower podcast. I love saying that. This, That, and Shay. I swear. Guys, go take a listen to it if you want something more of the, I want to say ASMR motivational.
She says ASMR. She says that because I take it seriously. I'm in my room, guys. I take it seriously, and I get to lay on my bed, and I can just close my eyes and talk. So it's more sultry, or as my husband likes to say, we sound like a phone sex operator. But no, it's not intentional. I'm not intentionally trying to be overtly sexy. My voice is just sexy, don't I? But it's just
I hear her. I hear her.
Okay. Yeah, I was watching you and I was like, oh, it was making that. Now take this case seriously, but we like to joke that way we're not so
engrossed, because we get engrossed by by reading,
we don't want to be depressed.
Researching these.
Yeah,
it's just it takes a toll on you mentally. Honestly,
so we like to like ask each other questions and divert from the depression that it could bring upon us. But in my podcast, it really goes deeper into the psyche of the person itself, and it's nothing to do with murder. It's just analyzing yourself and learning to love yourself, and going through all the things that you've been through and how to get out of that in a productive and positive way. Right. So it's a little deep. It's a lot of deep. So if you're into something deep and you need a motivation and you can't really go to a therapy type of thing. I've been to enough therapists in my life. I can help you, baby. But Arianne's, on the other hand, she's such a pop star, so hers is more upbeat. I'm emo.
Mine is literally everything from K-pop to even if you guys want to go back to talking about BDSM, we can talk about that.
I was just about to say masturbation.
I mean, hey.
Wait, are you going to masturbate on a podcast?
Oh, I won't masturbate on a podcast, but I got to thinking earlier today. I was like, I really should talk about some toys, though.
Yeah, that was interesting. And it was interesting when somebody in my household told me it sounded like I was masturbating in my podcast, and I was actually crying.
You guys won't know if I'm masturbating, though. Actually, I won't do that. I won't do that on podcast. Like, honestly,
I was going to say, wait, what?
Because I am quite vocal, so I probably won't do that on. I said probably. I won't. It's not a probably. It's a definitely we won't.
We are still waiting for Brian to come through with Arianne's OnlyFans.
Look, okay. I mean, it's literally everything. But yeah, we will definitely be covering a whole bunch of K-pop, Korean food, Korean dramas and variety shows.
And we will also feature each other on each other's solo podcasts. So just because we're doing solo ventures does not mean that we're separating. This podcast is still our baby and it's our number one and main priority. But we also want to do stuff separate from each other that showcases our personality as well.
It's
Guys,
like
we're
our
best
own
friends.
personal diary kind of thing. Like
Basically.
it's what is in our head.
Yeah.
And I mean, we may have common interests, but we're still two very,
Very
different
different people. Like she's like bubblegum pink crap and like Britney Spears and shit. And I'm over here like Garbage and Def Leppard and Linkin Park and R&B. Yeah, but I'm so she likes pink. I like black.
I mean, I love black. I love black too because it's slimming.
She loves shopping and makeup.
I do.
I love blood and gore.
It broke my heart when I had, I love kids, but it broke my heart to see them with $60 makeup on their face.
I said, bitch, I got eyeliner from Five Below for 99 cents.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't even wear it. It's still in a package. I got makeup that I tried. It's not for me. So we're so very different, but that's because we also had two different walks of life. So we kind of like bond over our differences, and what we lack in ourselves the other one brings out, if that makes sense. So we have our solo
weird how much we have in common, like thought wise.
Mm-hmm.
But like personality wise, we are so different because she is more outgoing and like can easily talk to people. Honestly, I, on the other hand, stay quiet. If you guys have not noticed, I stay quiet.
You think I'm outgoing? And I hate talking to people.
I literally hate going into crowds.
I hate it too. It gives me anxiety. That's why I take Xanax.
She's easy, but people approach her easier than me, I guess.
And I don't know why. Why is that? Because do I have written on my face come up to me? Because in my head, I'm like, stay away. Stay away.
I guess mine just shows in my face because, like, literally, I'm just like, I get very iffy about people. I get super iffy about people.
I smile inside my head. I've done killed somebody many, many times, and I'm just like,
yeah.
It's the smile. The smile will do it. But anyway,
with me and my, me and Mara, my sister, it's like
she's very outgoing.
She's super outgoing. She cannot, like, she goes everywhere with somebody. She's always with somebody, probably. She cannot stay inside. Like, when she would stay inside, it would just be absolutely killing her. She's like, oh, I gotta go here and I gotta go there. Do you want to go here? She called me one time and I was eating by myself. I happened to be running out errands and I just decided to stop by and eat at a restaurant by myself. It doesn't bother me.
I can't do that. That's why I know you're gonna be a serial killer. I can't do that
because I eat by myself.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere by myself. First of all, I like to be in my bed. As you can see, I didn't even want to get to my desk to do this.
We're both in our bedrooms, and you're lucky I'm not in my bed because, like I said, it's just my hip started hurting. So I was like, I'm going to do it on my vanity since I was getting ready for bed. And like, I had put my toner on my face and did my eyebrows.
She does this shit. See, this is why I got my hair dreaded. I don't even want to comb my shit. Like, am I really a woman? I think the most womanly thing about me is I gave birth.
I took a shower today. The last shower I took was Sunday. Okay.
What?
I took a shower today. Like, seriously. Seriously.
Guys, we're gonna get to the podcast. We promise. We just have a lot to talk about first.
Because my podcast, look, solved cases, I will tell you guys this. Solved cases, they're
Like
open and shut. Like
easy.
it's right then and there. And the guy that I have today has 250 victims, and I'm not fixing to read all 250 victims, you guys. I'm gonna do his background and initially like some of his major victims, but that's about it. Like that's 250 names, and I'm not fixing to do 250 names.
And while she's doing that, since I like to freeze, I'm just gonna be doing some stuff for my podcast. Um, what does Arianne call it? ASMR.
Her ASMR motivational. That's what I'm gonna start calling it from now on. It's your ASMR motivation. Literally, when I was reading it, or not reading it, when I was listening to it, and I happened to be laying in bed when I was listening to it, because I was like, since I'm here, let me go ahead and like I had it, in my pillow, like right here, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, like when, when you were like breathing, I was like, wait.
Guys, okay, look, my phone. I was talking into my phone. Here's my boyfriend. My husband knows about my boyfriend. We was just chilling. Had my phone like, wait, where's the camera so y'all can see? So my phone is just right here, and I was just laying like this and talking. I was not masturbating. I was not doing anything. I was just laying. I almost fell asleep, and I was talking, and that was it.
See,
So
I
whenever
can't
I do it,
be like
that's the
on my
position I'm going to
phone
be in.
talking. Cause like
Hmm.
I will talk random stuff. Like I took me a nap and like the kids, I thought the oldest said something, but it wasn't. And I started talking back, and Jalen was right there, and she was like, "What did you say, Aunt Francine?" I was like, "DeAndre said this." He was like, she said, "DeAndre's out in the dining room." Like I was hearing stuff. So
See, but yeah, guys, whenever I do my podcast, I'll just be laying down. I will be very serious. I'm not gonna have this jovial smile and this upbeat attitude because the things that we'll be talking about and addressing in my podcast aren't of jovial nature, but we can get there in the future. But the first few episodes are not going to be like that because, for one, the very first episode that I made was like an introductory just to let you guys know that I understand, so I had to give you a piece of me so you can relate, so you can understand that the next few episodes are definitely for you. So the very first one was very private, very personal, but very much needed for you to hear so you can understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's really more for me than you, but it will help you while it helps me.
like I said,
Honestly.
it's our own separate
Mm.
personal diaries.
But we're best friends and we're gonna do everything together as well. So we're not ever gonna stop doing this double A crime file.
I like reading up on crimes way too much.
Yeah, I
On
like
reading
it. I'm so
background.
glad that I hated that we went down to 2 days instead of 3. I really like our 3 days, but as Ariane says, it does make sense to go down to 2 because our cases are quick. Mine are super long, and mine do
It requires more research,
a
honestly,
lot. I
and you
have
have
a
different
lot.
sources.
Yeah. So I mean, so going down to us just doing Thursday, taking out a Tuesday. Now it will be longer. Our podcasts are usually about an hour. I had one podcast that was 2 hours that was necessary. So our podcast will be longer, but they will be more informative. And guys, you can't complain about that because there's videos on YouTube that are literally 3 to 11 hours, and I know you watch them because they get millions of views. I know I watch them. I listen to them as I go to sleep. So you guys can't complain about us. I'm not gonna hear that. Not at all. So check us out starting next week after Sunday Fun Day. We'll do Thursday and Sundays. We're not getting rid of Sunday Fun Day because that's our day we get to cut up and act a fool and play games. And then Thursday is when we're serious.
Yeah.
So on our on our Facebook page, I have listed Arian's podcast and my podcast. And I have a website as well. And Arianne's will be soon whenever she feels like she wants that. And like I did with this before we started going live, I would convert our audio to a visual for YouTube. I'm doing that for mine as well because people like it on YouTube. So far, I'm on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And I think Ariane is just on Spotify right now.
Mm-hmm.
But our host site is Anchor as always. So Anchor, look for us. We will put everything in the descriptions of everything that this podcast goes to. And baby, it goes everywhere. Just Google
And
us.
no,
We're
and
everywhere.
like hers got her name on it. Mine's got my gamer tag. Okay. And it just
Does it
happens
have
to
my
be
name on it?
War. Huh?
Does it have my name on it? I thought mine said Shay. I thought it said Sunflower Shay on mine.
It's still, technically your name.
Oh, because of Shay. Yeah.
Yeah, but like mine literally says war on everything. So everybody thinks like I'm against everything. And it's not. It's really my gamer tag. Guys, my gamer tag is war. So it just made sense that I'm gonna be on everything. I guess you could say the trailer is out. You guys go check it out. Amber's trailer and her first 19-minute ASMR motivation, put close to your ear type thing while you sleep.
Yeah, because I'll be like laying down while I'm doing it. Mine
Go,
should,
go and check
yeah,
those out. We
my
will post the
podcast
link.
shouldn't be that long. My podcast should not be more than 30 minutes at most. If they ever do, it's because it's something that we really need to talk about, but they're not really gonna be that as long as that because these are cases. These are longer. That podcast, our main podcast shouldn't be that long, but it just depends on how deep I get into stuff. 'Cause some stuff just comes off the top of my head and I feel moved to talk about it. And it's not spiritual because I'm we're not going to talk about religion, but it's not religious. It's just what's in my head,
You're right.
you know.
So
So,
we'll definitely put those out for you guys after. But we're gonna go ahead and get started on today's case. Hey, okay. I gotta make light of this because, like I said, this guy has killed 250 people. Confirmed. Confirmed. 250 people. There could be more.
wait, DNA confirmed or he just confessed?
They have it was part confession and part they actually confirmed that it was his victim.
Ooh. Who?
So we are talking about Harold Shipman. I cannot.
Ooh, if you put in the thing, I could put his name on the screen.
So his let me post this in here for our Anchor listeners. Make sure you guys go to facebook.com/double-a-crime-files.
Or you can go to our YouTube, which is too fucking long to mention. Just Google us, baby. Google us. We're everywhere. Put our name in on
So
Google.
if you guys want to see us on live, go to our Facebook.
Please.
And see ourselves.
Oh, because we react.
Normally me. And you guys, like I said, should be shocked because what you guys see me wear on Sunday was what I wore until about an hour and a half ago. Hair and all.
Arianne is taking over my role, and I'm so happy.
Mother, and that's literally
A mother. It sucks. Motherhood sucks. But
it's not, like I said, it's honestly not the kids because I've had them for a whole summer and I've had them for every break for the past 3 years, but it's just
even longer than that. You've always had them.
Yeah, it's really just well, I mean, for a full summer, it started 2-3 years ago, but it's literally for, it's just the stupid school stuff.
Guys, I told her since the COVID thing's going on. We have the option to have the kids virtual all year long. And I said yes. And I said they can stay with Arianne all year.
I'm throwing them out the window. And then I had 2 kids crying because they were like, Mommy's keeping us in virtual school. I don't like virtual school. I want to go to school. I'm like, okay, cool. Take that up with your mama and don't take it up with me.
Oh, I said no because first day when people went in, 23 people died of COVID because they went to school. So y'all can die, but my kids are not going to die.
Right. Okay. So, Mr. Harold Shipman, hello to everybody that's come in. I can't really see you guys, but hello. Make sure you guys say hello back. But okay, so we are talking about Mr. Harold Shipman. He was born in Nottingham, England, to parents who were supposedly devout Methodists. His dad was a lorry driver. If you guys don't know what a lorry driver is, it's basically like a truck driver. Essentially,
I don't nobody know that
in Britain. So, so he did, when he was younger, he did play rugby, or he was in the rugby league, and was considered very good. He was also an accomplished long distance runner, and he became a vice president of the athletics team in his final year of school. Now, when Shipman was actually 7 years old, his mother died of lung cancer. He was very, very close to his mom, basically like his mom coddled him. So when she had passed away, her death was, of course, devastating to him. And it affected him very deeply. And towards the end of her life, the doctors actually would come home and administer her morphine. And Shipman would see this, and he would see the effects of like what morphine was doing to his mom.
It's some good shit.
I
said it's some good shit.
She over here. Jeez. Okay, so what he's seen was, as soon as the morphine was administered, it's like all the suffering, all the pain that his mother was going through with her cancer basically just disappeared. And like I said, his mom was very close to him, or he was very close to his mom. So seeing all that pain actually like relieved him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they all knew that her illness was terminal. So to see just a little bit of this drug, being administered, just this morphine being administered to her, and she, for that little glimpse, is not feeling any kind of pain or anything. Like, he loved it, essentially, because he was able to see his mom not suffering. So he fast forward to 1966. He actually married, and within that marriage, he ended up having 4 children. And then 4 years after their marriage, Shipman had graduated from Leeds School of Medicine with a medical degree. And it was said it was because he seen, the works of morphine, and then he seen his mother die, and that in turn, with him not being able to really help, it, I guess, somewhat motivated him to pursue a career in medicine.
That's quite natural.
So a lot of times when you hear stories like this, you're just like, oh, he's going to go out and help people.
Yeah.
But no, he's in this case, you guys. So I can assume you know what he did to 250 people.
Oh, he helped them all right.
He sure did. Helped them right to 6 feet underground.
He was the Grim Reaper. Do they call him the Grim Reaper?
His name was actually Dr. Death, or the Angel of Death was his nickname.
Well, Yeah.
About the same, basically.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the first few years of his career were spent working at the General Infirmary in Yorkshire, and then he started working as a general practitioner in 1974 in West Yorkshire. So in 1975, he was actually caught forging prescriptions. Why? Don't know. Maybe he just.
I had a doctor that forged prescriptions. No, he didn't forge prescriptions. He wrote himself prescriptions. And long story. Never mind.
Let's not get anybody else in trouble. I have a case here, okay?
Oh, it was already a case. It's been shut down by the feds. Oh. It was already a case.
Well, okay. Let's move on, shall we? So he was actually prescribing himself pethidine, also known as Demerol, for his own personal use.
Man, he got the good stuff every time.
I mean, you being a doctor, I mean, why would you not?
I don't know how this is the good
stuff. If you're going to forge your own medicine, why not get the best?
Go on and get that good stuff.
Just go ahead. So, anyways, he was fined and made into attend a rehab clinic. I mean, I would think that would be lines for not having your.
You should have your medical license revoked.
Yeah. But anyways, he was just slapped with a fine and forced to go to rehab clinic. 2 years later, he was a general practitioner again. And this time at the Donnybrook Medical Center in Hyde. He stayed with this medical center until 1993, when he started his own surgery practice. So in March 1998, suspicions came up in the community regarding a high number of patients who were dying under his care. Ding, 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 suspicious. So what started as a general concern grew into a full-blown investigation, which ended up shocking whole Britain. So this is what happened. Well, this is some of what had happened. So in March of 1998, a woman named Deborah Massey from a local funeral parlor had contacted Dr. Linda Reynolds of the Brook Surgery in Hyde and basically told her the concern of the amount of clients that were coming through, and they were all coming from Dr. Shipman. So then the South Manchester District Coroner, John Pollard, was also contacted about the really, really high death rate. And like I said, I mean, that's rightfully so. If you're a freaking, funeral parlor or
funeral parlor,
a
mortician.
Yeah. Well, this is Britain, for goodness sake. My ear is popping. Like, I hear it. My ear is popping. Like, I'm starting to get, my allergies are coming back, and I'm starting to get a cold. This is not good.
I was taking notes for my podcast, but I think me and my boyfriend are going to chill and just listen to you.
Okay, so anyways, these people are just like, hey, there's a lot of bodies coming to us, and they're all coming from one doctor. Yeah, and there's no pandemic going around. There's no disease going around at that time.
Holy shit, Anchor. I thought that was a UFO. My blinds are open. It was Carlight.
I'm so through with her. Okay, so Mr. John Pollard, who was from the South Manchester District Coroner, was contacted, of course. So on that particular note, there was a large number of cremation forms for the elderly coming from Shipman.
To get rid of the DNA.
Yeah. So these are coming from the elderly women, actually, that he had needed to be that needed to be countersigned. The police were then contacted, but at the time they felt that there wasn't enough evidence to charge Shipman or anyone at that time. It was just off suspicions. And they just thought it was just like really suspicious. Suspicious. I'm just going to keep on saying suspicious from now on. So, anyways, there was a taxi driver by the name of John Shaw who contacted the police in 1998, saying he suspected the Shipman may have been murdering a large number of people. How a taxi driver knows this, we shall find out. Anyways, there was also, we may not find out.
So, well, maybe because he was his driver.
It was just a random taxi driver. Maybe because, like, I want to say British people, they just talk to everybody. Like, almost like New Yorkers. Like, they get in a taxi, they talk to everybody. Like, hey, I'm just...
Do they?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot
I have family from New York.
To just tell somebody completely random, like they killed somebody. Like, hey, I killed 250 people. What's up?
The fuck? No. 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 No.
Like that's a pickup line. Hey, baby, I killed 250 people.
Hey, baby.
Wanna be 251?
Shut up. It'd be like this. Hey, baby. Killed anyone lately?
Wink, wink. Wink, wink, wink. I can't wink right now, you guys. My eyes are...
Want to get bloody?
My eyes will shut for the night. Okay, so we're not going to do that.
Oh, Lord. It's trying to print.
Anyways, there was concerns about a will. They may not have been authenticated after a woman named Angela Woodruff's mother, like her mother had died. She had left nothing to her children and family, but left a large sum of £386,000, which is roughly almost $400,000 to Shipman. And we're talking about the 1998. So about 400,000 was still quite a bit. It's still quite a bit now.
That is. It's almost $500,000.
So they reported their concerns to the police. I mean, rightfully so. If my elderly mother was like, hey, I'm going to leave $400,000 to this doctor, I'm going to be like, hold on.
I'm going to cut that duck down because, first of all, it's going to be it's a lawsuit. Exactly. First of all, my mama don't have all that. So I'm going to have to fight my dead mama anyway.
Where am I money $400,000 from?
Man.
So the police, of course, did an investigation and exhumed the elderly Angela Woodruff's mother, the elderly woman, whose name is Kathleen Grundy. Her body was found to contain traces of a drug called morphine, used to control pain in patients who have terminal cancer. Ding, ding, ding. There are now, I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to make my own sound effects. Gosh darn it.
You do that. I have my own catchphrase.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. My catchphrase is what? Meditate and masturbate, bitches. Well, without the bitches.
So now they see, now the police has this evidence. Now they're like, okay, now we can go and charge people, specifically Dr. Shipman.
Oh my God. Peter.
So, anyways, there are lots and lots. Now, this is dating back, first, I want to say the first known murder happened in 1975. And a lot of these murders are actually coming from elderly.
Because they're probably about to die anyway.
Yeah, which are very known victims when it comes to like
anything.
horrible doctors. Yes. So, anyway, so Shipman was arrested on September 7th, 1998. While searching for his property, they found a typewriter, the same type that was used to type up the forged will of Kathleen Grundy, which is the elderly woman whose body they exhumed.
You know, when you keep saying her name, it reminds me of how everyone says Ariana Grande's last name wrong. Because you said Grundy. It's Ariana. Say it.
And it Grandy? Yeah. It's not Grande. Yeah, it's Grandy.
Ariana Grande.
Yeah. So the police investigated all of the cases where Shipman had signed the death certificates, and a total of 15 cases to begin with. In each case, they discovered a pattern of Shipman administering the diamorphine. Now, mind you, again, these were mainly elderly women, roughly around between the ages of 60 to 80. There was actually one, I believe, that was like 90.
60 is young. Oh my God.
But now a lot of these are also dying from cancer, from terminal cancer.
Yeah, that makes
um anyways, in each case, they discovered him administering the diamorphine, signing the death certificates, and then falsifying. What the heck, Arianne? Falsifying the medical records to say that the patient was under poor health. I just said poor health, guys.
All right, drink some water.
I have some, but
You need to lubricate your mouth and lubricate your throat so you can speak properly.
I can't speak properly to begin with, so let's get that correct.
No lube for you.
I have natural lube. Thank you very much.
Anyway, fun fact, even if you do have natural lube, you still need to use another lubricant.
I've seen that on medical stuff.
I know this because I'm a medical professional for real. So I have medical certifications on a lot of different levels. You need extra lube.
So there was actually a massive, question, and they took on every case that Shipman had, every I guess patients that he had, I guess is the word. So they took on every case. And then it was discovered that there were more than 250 victims that he had. So on October 5th, 1999, Dr. Shipman's trial had begun. He was charged with the murders of, at the time, Irene Turner, Marie West, Jean, I say it like it's French. Jean Liley, Lizzie Adams, Ivy Lomas, Marie Quinn, Mariel Grimshaw, Kathleen Wagstaff, Nora Nutt.
Nora Nutt? I know.
No. So I'm sorry. I really should not laugh about the deceased, but it's just the name. Nora Nutt all. Bianca Pomfret, Pamela Hillier, Winifred Meller, Maureen Ward, Kathleen Grundy, and Joanne Melia. And the charges were of murder, of course, by legal injection between the years of 1995 and 1998. Like I said, that's just what he was charged with at that time.
Because that could be like lumped in with that like assisted suicide thing if the patients had mentioned anything about wanting to die, but he just did it. So like, and I never really understood the that assisted suicide thing because you're just being a murderer.
See, okay, so I actually have a doctor friend. I met them like a long time ago. Anyway, so I was looking up, I forgot what I was doing, but I think I was watching something about it. And so I had messaged him and I was like, hey, I was watching this and I just, from your point of view, at the time he was doing his residency. So I was like, I really just, wanted to know like what the hell does it pertain to? Anyways, so I asked him. He said it's a very fine line. Because then if you have like a lot of times you have to have the I want to say written consent.
Yeah. Just like you will have to
So
have a
that way you
DNR.
don't get charged. But
Mm-hmm.
yet technically it is murder. Because I mean, what are they going to do? Ask the deceased, hey, did you want to die?
Right. There's nobody there to speak on
You know,
their behalf.
and then even if they were known to be suicidal, what if they didn't want to die at that point? Because I mean, there's some people that change their mind.
Yes.
Like have
Definitely.
a epiphany. Is that how you say it?
Epiphany.
Okay. But anyway, just it's just like, life happens and it's like, oh, I still want to do this. I'm going to fight it. Like there's some chance. We can't ever rule that out for people. But anyways, he said it's very fine line, but he himself with his morals said he would not. Regardless if he had a written note or not, he wouldn't. Because he took an oath to basically do the best that he can.
Everybody in the medical field takes the Hippocratic oath because they're hypocrites. I mean,
Wow. So, anyways, the end of the trial, the jury deliberated for 6 days, and on January 31st, 2000, guys, 2000,
20 years ago.
he was found guilty of the 15 counts of murder and 1 count of forgery. He received 15 life sentences plus 4 years for the will, for the forgery of the will. So in 2002, the Home Security confirmed that the whole life tariff was appropriate. So on January 13th, 2004, he took his own life by hanging himself in a cell like a coward.
Coward.
At Wakefield Prison, he was discovered at 6:20 p.m. and declared dead at 8:10 p.m. He had used his bed sheets and tied them to the bars on the windows of his cell to hang himself. Although some families of his victims were relieved he was dead, others felt as if they were being cheated, and now they would never be answers to why he had killed his patients. And you can automatically tell it's for the money. Being a doctor wasn't enough.
Obvious.
I think he also
Well, you have to think about
partially was the money, but I think the other half was since he was so intrigued at seeing how this medicine worked that I think he was fascinated by it.
that too, but back to the money thing. So let's get serious here because I've worked for roughly 200 plus doctors in my career being a medical professional. And I'll tell you this, just because you're a doctor does not mean that you're loaded. You have to think about med school. Just general med school is a lot of years. Then you have to add on if you want to specialize in something. So if you want to be a specific surgeon, if you want to be like just an endocrinology, any kind of specialist, you're adding on years. So you're looking at roughly 13 years of school. So that's money. Every year that's money and it's not cheap. And I know this from I'm not gonna say which doctor I worked for. I'm not gonna say when, where, what. But I just was being a little bit more of an assistant than I should have been, and saw some taxes, and they get your ass. They get your ass. So just because you're a doctor and you've been in the practice for a while doesn't necessarily mean you're loaded. You got a shit ton of loans to pay back. And trust me, they take those loans. You don't have an option in paying those loans back. They take those loans out of your taxes because you make too much money to let that slide. So I can definitely see why money would be the motive in this situation.
It's always a motive for like a lot of crimes. But I think also, again, he was so fascinated with how morphine worked that he liked to see it, I guess. So so here's a little, am I supposed to say fun fact? Okay, anyways, here's a little fact. So back in 2002, there was actually a movie that was made of Harold Shipman. It was called Harold Shipman, Dr. Death. So the actor John Hurt. What was John Hurt? Anyways, the actor John Hurt was actually initially offered the lead role, but he actually just declined because he said that the movie looked and sounded distasteful.
Oh, well, the truth can be distasteful.
Oh, okay. He looks familiar. There's also a memorial garden for all of his victims in Hyde Park, and it's called the Garden of Tranquility.
Such a beautiful name for such a tragic situation.
So like I said, there was...
I got birds on my wall, y'all. It's birds.
So there was, like, again, so many confirmed, but he was convicted of his later ones, the ones that were closer to date. And but it initially started around 1975 is what 1975.
Y'all like this pillow?
That pillow.
Arianne got it for me for what?
It was for her early birthday. It was literally super early because I couldn't wait any longer. I had ordered her stuff off of Amazon, and I was like, well, it's here, so I'm gonna get it for her. But it was that is my case. You guys tell me how you like it. Not so much Harold Shipman, because
wait a minute. You said we don't like you just got through doing something. Hey, did you like it, baby?
Yeah,
was the case good or not?
We're gonna talk now, you guys. We're gonna talk
Let's
now.
Talk.
We're gonna have some fun now since we got our case over with. Okay. Now that she says that, now I want to talk about it on my personal podcast, because eventually we're gonna talk about sex.
We're gonna talk. We need to set up guys a live stream just for talking.
Let me know how you guys like the case. Okay.
For real.
Let us know. But also let me know, because I really want to know, guys, do you actually ask a girl how they feel after the sex? Like, if it's not your girlfriend, or if it's not like when it's the first time you've had sex with this girl, do you ask her, hey, was it good? Or females, are you guys like,
oh, baby, I know it's good. I don't have to ask. But as a woman that was once in her lifetime not attached, I've been asked several times, and I've lied and said yes. But
let me tell you guys this. I had one guy ask. It was when I first moved to Huntsville. Oh, please don't listen to this podcast, because I think he's
Yeah, he's listening to this podcast.
He's on my friends list. Anyway.
So anyway, let the cat out the bag. He's got to know.
I I called him Eraser. So here's the thing, okay? You know them lead pencils that have the twistable eraser? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like I can show you, I have one.
Oh, we don't need a visual.
But anyways, that's how big his was, okay?
Shut up.
I kid you not. So I was like, that was my first time it having been that small. So I was just like,
we're going to have a lot of these conversations on my Facebook page, This, That, and Shay. Go follow it, like it. Arianne and I are going to get on there and talk a lot because honestly, that is a talk about everything. So we're going to do this.
Okay, so like he was okay, smaller than this. Think about the eraser, you guys. Think about the eraser. Smaller than that.
Jalapeno?
So he wasn't even that thick either. Literally the size of the eraser, girth and length. Anyways, so and that's full on length.
Oh, please tell me somebody didn't just make a meme of my face. Please make a meme of my face.
So this is what happened. Okay. So when that happened, you know, girls fake it. It's not a big surprise. Girls fake it all the time.
Fake it all the time. I faked it many times.
So then he was like, after he got done, like you would think he ran a damn marathon. He's like, yeah, baby, was it good?
I have so many stories. I can't wait.
I was so annoyed. Okay, I was so annoyed by faking it by this point that I was like, I said, did you even start? And I guess it hurt his pride. What hurt his pride even more was that he contacted me like a year later, and I was still not with Daniel at the time. But I was like dating around, like just going on dates. And he had messaged me. He found me on Facebook and he was like, oh, hey, do you want to go on a date? And I was like, this dude looks oddly familiar. I just don't remember. And it's only a year, you guys.
I have so many things to say.
And he was like, he said, yeah, you remember we were together. I think her name was Chastity at the time. Chastity's friend, boyfriend's friend. And I was like, oh shit, I know who he is now. And then this is bad. I didn't remember the whole like horrible sex part until we went like out for a coffee during the day because I was like, look, I'm super busy. I can't go out on a date. But sure, yeah, let's go out for coffee. And we went to Starbucks and like when he tried to give me a hug and like like you have that flashback, give him a hug and I was like, ooh, pencil. And as soon as I said pencil, he was like, what? And I was like, oh.
Baby girl, you just broke his spirit again because he just heard the story on live.
I was like, oh yeah, I meant to buy a pencil. Oh, it was horrible. And then he tried to contact me about a date. He was like, so are you not busy anymore to go on a date? I was like, no, I'm still busy. I can't go out.
I have similar. I got like 3 things I got to tell you just from your one story. I just, it's so hard to just, okay. All of this is from before. I've been with my husband for almost 12 years, been married almost 8 years. So this is in prehistoric days.
Oh, by the way, speaking of your marriage, your daughter didn't remember that she was at y'all's wedding. Her teacher asked her today.
He was the freaking flower girl.
She said, she was like, no, I've never been at the wedding. Both me and the oldest were like, you were at mommy and daddy's wedding. You're the flower girl. She's like, oh, but that was like 7 years ago, so that doesn't count.
Anyway, let's talk about these prehistoric days. So, you were talking about your whole eraser situation. That reminded me. One of my boyfriends. I call him Mr. Three-Tone.
No.
I called him Mr. Three-Tone.
I'm afraid to know why he got this name.
He was three tones.
My colors?
I was scary.
I've had several of those in my life.
It was scary. I was like, what the fuck?
That one that was curved too.
Oh, curve's great. But anyway, okay. And then like no.
No, I mean for the guy, like it's curved. Would it like
those things can do a lot of things. Anyway, then you said like how like it was like a long time, and then you're like he hit you up on Facebook. Okay, so I have a story about that. One of my ex-boyfriends had hit me up on Facebook many years ago, and having a conversation with me like they knew me. I did not know who this was. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm having a conversation back, and the whole time I'm like, who is this? I'm clicking on profile, going through the pictures, I'm like, who is this? Who is this? We're talking, and we didn't have a conversation. I probably should like 2 or 3 weeks. We were just having a conversation. I was like, man, I know I had to know this person because they know so much about me. And we're talking. I'm sitting there like, who is this? Who is this guy? Who is this? And then, girl, how about we dated? And not only did we date, like we used to have sex a lot. A lot. And I cannot remember his face. I cannot remember his name. Nothing about him. So that showed me right there it was not good. It was not good. That means I faked the whole relationship, because if I did not remember your face or your name, I faked it. I faked that whole thing. And then by the time I remember who it was, we were friends again. So I couldn't just say, you got to get out of my life.
I mean, I had a friend that stayed my friend the whole entire time. And apparently we had sex and I didn't remember it. He was like, wow. He's like, that means I was really bad because you don't remember it. And I was like, are you telling me the truth? Because legit, I don't remember.
It happens, guys. Girls fake it. It's more to stroke your ego, because we know guys like to have their ego stroked and want to be the man.
But that's okay, because we do too.
And before I met my husband, I was just like always I was in competitive sports with guys. We were competitors, and I like the challenge. So you had to be really, really good to get a reaction out of me, like a true, authentic reaction. But I have my husband now, so I don't have to worry about faking anything.
I think I want to talk about sex now on my podcast.
Yes.
Worst sex stories.
I want us to get on my page and just talk, like get on there and just have a talk show. That's what I want my page to be. I want my page to be talk show, but my podcast to be more deep. But I want my page to be
after show.
Guys, go to my page on This, That, and Shay.
Let's do an after show and talk about sex.
We're going to get on there and we're going to talk and be very candid and open, because this here is true crime. We can't be talking like this on here. This is different. So our Anchor listeners, our YouTube listeners, our Facebook listeners, anybody who wants to just have an adult conversation with adult lewdness.
You said lube?
Lewd, not lube, but lube could be involved. If you just want to be an adult and just chit chat with your girlfriends, head over to This, That, and Shay, like and follow, and you'll watch us live. We will share it to both of our pages, and we can also share it to our Double A Crime Files page, so you can hit the live and follow with us.
We do that now?
We can do it right now, because
I'm wide awake right now, and the kids have all
I'm
day
ready to
school,
turn
and
off
they
my lights.
can go make themselves an egg sandwich for breakfast.
Baby, I'm ready to turn off my lights. Let me give us about 10 minutes.
Talk about sex.
Give me 10 minutes so I can create a whole room for us on my page. While I'm doing that, Arianne, you promote the fuck out of it for 10 minutes. And when we come back, we're going to be in the dark and we're going to be on this, that, and Shay. And girl, follow us. We're going to have conversations. We can conversate on there every fucking night if you want to. We're grown women.
Let's do an after party.
Let's do it. After party,
guys.
Hey.
At the after party.
Come to the after party. Love you.
Oh, I'm ending the podcast because I forgot.